morning guys, it's a 5 p.m. It's a for April 28th 2022. Today is a Thursday. Let me walk you through the pre-market notes. So ES sellers will have to keep it below 40 to 45, else if price gaps up and go above that area, equal to buyers may become active intraday until they find a good resistance upward. Okay, so idea was to sellers to keep it below 40 to 45. Above, buyers could be active. Okay, or gap up above is more, buyer will be active. Now and then that resistance can be Monday's high, right, or few points above it, right? So price pretty much went there, either I think Monday's high or Friday's high, or few points above it basically. Then based on intraday conditions, we may choose to short or let it go, right? So this thing happens towards the end of the day, so there is no shorts, right? We have to just let it go. It is important for buyers to keep it above yesterday's high or yesterday's high minus 10 points, right? So I was talking about roughly 14, around 25, 22 or so. That is what buyers wants to keep it. Break below, more sellers will be active, fully active. You may see some bounces around 1475, right? And you may see some bounces around 162, similar level, both were tagged together, right? And ideally I want buyers to hold it above to 29.12, right? And today below this level for sellers, okay, gap above this area, right, or price going above this area, more buyers will come. Okay, so remember this area, Russell, Dow, I'm not going to walk you through it, right? So you can look at the levels, correct? Crude, dream number 113.72. okay, so now, okay, here these things, right? So this is the area I want sellers to keep it below, correct? These are the blue lines, powerful lines, also same as a pink line, and the dotted line. So you can see right of the open, price open around 200 right here, and then it hit the dream number, right? So the way it went higher is like a lot of buying came in right of the open, because of the gap up situation, correct? But then it immediately fell down, right? So the way it went higher, it touched the dream number. See, dream numbers are powerful, but the problem is we can't short it right here, because it looks like again it was an open drive and with the gap up situation, right? So, and yesterday we had some buyers, we saw some buyers, overnight also we saw some buyers, right? So we can't just short it here blindly, but instead if it fails we can short it, right? Because that was the whole idea, stick with shorts below certain levels, right? So here, yes, we talked about 36 34 36 area, that it may hold, and it is tagged along with NQ's 267. That level was not here, there was no line that was given in intraday Discord, right? In the morning voice, that 267, that is the level you have to observe. It has to go above it and holds the damn thing. So here you can see is 267 or 274 dream number, right? The price touched it, same bar, came down and closed below yesterday's high. 255 was yesterday's high, that line was not here. So, and then ES got rejection from this 34 36 area, so that area we discussed, right? But the problem is we can't short it, and then because it's right of the open, right, we usually wait for a few minutes until we know that today is going to be trend up or down day. Then yes, we are ready to do long or short right of the open. So, and then we can see a slice through these levels, right? Price just came down. So here, if this is an open drive kind of price action, to begin with, and price sliced through this 229, 218, 274, 267, yesterday's high, right? Idea is it has to hold above this area, right? At least 200, which is this morning low. The moment price came down and sliced through it, right, you can short, right? At this backup at this 200 area, you can short, yes, you can short here as 22, because 22 was tagged with 18, right? So you have to observe all these things, and you have to be fast enough, otherwise you have to let it go, wait. Then what happened? Then 14 was a good area, right? It sliced through it, see that, right? And then sliced through here again, 07 also, correct? So below 14 we know that it's now sellers have a control. The moment it popped back up here, right, The sellers better hold it here, right? That means you can short here, relying on sellers if you want to, and then short was here, which is this, right? And the NQ short was right at 162, right? Or you can do a breakdown below 162. At that point, chances are most likely it will go toward 13,000, this level, and then Globex low, that's the only last line of defense, right? And then you can see it is sliced through it, right? So on the way back up here, it has to hold below this area. As long as price NQ holds below this two area, sellers have a full control. And then you can see it went down, and then again from here it just went, barely 2 ticks, 3 ticks, or maybe 2 points below, and then slice up, right? And then just shoot straight up. Actually, I played this long, and then after 10:30 I took a day off. I went for my gardening, so I did not look at this entire price. I just came back at 4 o'clock, and then I saw this damn thing. But anyway, so I took this long, but it was not. It's easy to capture. I was looking at MBOX at the same time, and I was looking at multiple things. So that's why I was able to capture, But otherwise, it's hard to capture. So forget about that trade. That is not a valid trade. So these shorts were valid, and then you take a profit here, because when ES was filling the gap, sometimes gap fill works, as a long setup too, right? But since we are favoring sellers nowadays, this gap fill you cannot take it, because considering AD was trending down, right? Momentum was below zero, minus 600, minus 800, right? You cannot take this long, but however you can use this area to take a profit, because price was exhausted straight there, pretty much. Internals were not liquidation kind, right? So you have to be careful shorting at the lower level. Higher level is fine, lower level is the problem, based on this internal situation. They were trending down, but they were holding, they were not like that super weak. Look at S&P 80, at that time it was like above zero line, right? So then as usual gap players, they bought it, and then price again went back up to this area 15, right? At this time it's a second test, so you can short it. It is a good area. Problem is it's a second test. Chances are 50-50, right? Now to make that chance from 50 to let's say 70%, you have to look at internals. Look at this. Momentum was still below zero, correct? AD, the first time when it was here, AD was here. See that? Second time, same area price, but AD is below. So it's a divergence, right? Based on that, now you can say it's a 70% chance it can hold this area, at least back up to this area. Ping pong. And it has a confluence, which will make it 80% chance that this area may hold. So that's why you take a short if you want to, back to this area somewhere and take a profit, or you can even hold it, because this time, second time failing means most likely it will go through this area, this low, and make a new low, and then you want to see continuation, right? So then it went down, and then it even had this area too, right? The balance bottom. Here you can short even, one more short was right here. Right here, protecting this low, right? And then targeting this lows. In Q, you can do the same thing. Short here, right? This balance bottom, targeting this area. Now 53, I gave you the importance of 53, why that line was there in Discord, and why I put a line there, and then what is the importance of that line. But considering this balance on top of it, most likely it will go through the line. That was the idea, and it will take 13,016. That is what I said in Discord, right? Unfortunately, damn thing held the line. Not at the first test. Not at the first test, but multiple tests. It built a balance around it. And so when it's tried to do this, right, only two things can happen. Either it's going to go down or go up. Considering this down move, right? Internals were tanking down, right? But this was not a simple down move, because this, whatever happened here, and then immediately this is something off kind of situation. The way it happened, up and down immediately, something is happened, So looks like this is the sellers area, like sellers are strong. If they were strong, slight balance here, and then boom, it should have sliced through it, So I stopped my trading right around 10:30, So then this thing happened, so after I discuss about 53, here, and then I just left, but then if you're monitoring it, you can see it. You want to see when you take this short, you want to see a slice through it, straight here, but instead you can see again came back up, right, and then again down, then again came back up. You should be bailing out here, right here, if you're holding these shorts or any of these shorts, yes, same damn thing. Second time also, look at this, again down and then up, you should be out. It is that simple. So, and then once price went above, this gap up area, it's most likely it is back into the day's range. Then it can continue to do ping pong. So that means there is no trade after that until price goes above this or below this. Simple. Because both parties are active, as you know, higher time frame support, some smaller time frame, mid-term time frame resistance, price coming back into this. That means it's a problem, right? Because we are dealing with the higher time frame support here, right? So, and the short term sellers are also active due to this down move, right, every day. So within the range, not advised to trade. So that means there is no trade here, unless you have some indicator or something, or MBOX or whatever, right, or RSI or something is pointing up and you want to trade it, then you can trade it. Otherwise there is no trade here. By the time, see, there was a trade here also. There was one trade right here, in NQ, NES also here. But the problem was, it's not advisable, because NQ being NQ, ES being ES, all this thing when going on, now AD was down and now it is trying to go up. It can technically do ping pong, entire day, within the range, and you get screwed, right? So, but the trade here was, when you see this thing going higher, right, there was a trade here also, back to this, those are the scalping trade, you can get it, But anyway, let's not talk about the scalping, right? So the moment this thing went higher, right, and here it's already rejected this 162 area 2-3 times, right, and then third time it went through it. At this point, buyers had sealed the deal that it wants to go further higher. Remember, we discussed in Discord earlier in the morning also, right, that if price goes above this and this, ES goes above 14 or 7, chances are it's may reverse all the way up, right, back to morning high and potentially higher. We clearly discussed this thing in the morning, right? So, but by the time when I was here, damn thing was here, right? Then it happened after I left. So this thing is telling you that buyers are there now, now they are in more power, and ideally they should have held it above this area, so above this area after breaking above, right? But instead you can see this price came down, right? So at this point, looks like sellers wants to take a control back, correct? You just have to wait and see what it does. If it goes down here, come back up, clean move, you can take a short, right? Unless, if it goes down, and if it did this, right, now something is off. The moment the breakout happened, you can go long, like similar way. See that this pattern? Breakdown, balance, breakout, balance, breakout, right? And after that, there is no trade here. You can't just, it's a bearish market right now. Not bearish, but it's bearish, sellers are in control. So after this breakout, if there is no pullback here, you can't go long, right? Let's say with this down bar, you can't go long at this blue line. It's too aggressive, because price already moved so much. Say in this one leg up, second leg up, right? So it's already done, Yes, same damn thing. Look at this, right? So these are the good resistance. Now you don't want to mess up around going long at this higher up. Yes, today it worked out in your favor if you went long here, right? But most of the day it won't. It will not, right? So look at, if somebody being greedy at 3 p.m. and went long here, and look at this, what happened, right? Even though the people who were holding this, they also got screwed. See that? So those kind of situation happens unless you took the profit. As I always recommend, take a profit, then you're good, right? And that be all. Rest I already typed it in Discord, why and what, all these reasons, right? So why price moved this way, why it stopped here, all these things, and that be all.